230,000 lives lost, cities drowned. But in the chaos, a miracle. 12 elephants in Sri Lanka's Yala National Park bolt inland hours before the tsunami strikes. No drownings, no injuries, just intuition. Was it luck? Or did they hear the earth scream before we did?
Hey, disaster detectives, Jess here. Let's play a game. Imagine you're at the beach sipping a coconut when suddenly every seagull vanishes. Would you panic? Probably not. But what if I told you that's exactly what happened before the deadliest tsunami in history? Today we're cracking open nature's secret playbook. Strap in. This is way weirder than sci-fi. Meet Raja, a 40-year-old tusker with a knack for survival. Rangers say he'd been pacing for hours, ears flapping like emergency flags. Then, at 8:17 a.m., he snapped his chains and led his herd 12 miles inland. By noon, the first wave flattened his empty enclosure. So, what tipped him off?
Elephants aren't just smart. They're walking seismographs. Their feet have patinian corpuscles, pressure sensors that detect vibrations we'd need a $10,000 lab machine to measure. That tsunami? It sent infrasound ripples through the Earth's crust, like a dog whistle for giants.
So Raja didn't just sense danger, he felt the planet's heartbeat change?
Exactly. To him, that quake wasn't a surprise. It was a countdown.
Scientists recreated Raja's POV using seismic data. Let me tell you, if the ground beneath you suddenly hums like a subway track, you'd run too. But here's the kicker. Raja's herd wasn't alone. Across Asia, flamingos abandoned lowland nests, zoo animals hid in corners. Even domestic cats started freaking out. Which begs the question, why don't humans have this spidey sense? Are we just bad at Earth? Fast forward to 2019. Hurricane Dorian, a Category 5 monster, is barreling toward the Bahamas. But days before it hits, every bird on this island, poof, gone, including our next MVP, Zephyr, a whimbrel with a death wish and a GPS backpack. Zephyr's migration route should have been a death sentence, a direct collision with Dorian. But instead, she pulled a last-minute U-turn, flying 1,700 miles nonstop to Venezuela. How? She's basically a feathery meteorologist.
Birds sense pressure drops through hollow bones. To Zephyr, Dorian wasn't invisible. It was a mountain of bad air. She surfed the edge of the storm like a surfer dodging a riptide.
So she's out here playing Hunger Games with the weather? Respect. See this? Magnetite, a mineral in bird beaks that acts like a compass. Combine that with an internal barometer, and Zephyr's basically got a cockpit dashboard in her brain. Meanwhile, I get lost in parking garages.
We tagged 300 birds during hurricane season. 90% avoided storms entirely. One godwit flew 7,000 miles to escape a typhoon. They're not just surviving, they're outsmarting chaos.
But wait, it gets stranger. In 1975, Chinese officials ordered the evacuation of Haicheng after snakes. Winter, freezing temps, but snakes? Crawling out of the ground like zombies. Rats swarming streets, dogs howling nonstop. Locals thought it was an omen. Turns out, a 7.3 magnitude earthquake was brewing. Scientists later found that stressed rocks release charged particles, positive ions, that irritate animal nerves. Basically, the Earth starts zapping critters before it snaps. Meet Dr. Samuel, a geologist who's trained rats to predict quakes. No, really.
Rats' whiskers detect electromagnetic static before quakes. We've wired their brains to lights, green for chill, red for run. They're 82% accurate, beating our best tech.
So, rats are better interns than humans. Noted. Which brings us to this. Robo-Roach 2.0. It's got cockroach antennae that smell disasters. Yeah, I said smell.
Cockroaches detect airborne chemicals released by crumbling concrete. Before a building collapses, they bolt. We're teaching AI to mimic their nose.
Truly, the future is gross and glorious. We've built satellites, drones, AI. Yet a whimbrel with a brain the size of a walnut outranks them all. Maybe we've been asking the wrong question. It's not, how do animals know? It's, why did we stop listening? Next time your cat hides or birds go silent, don't shrug. Follow them, because while we're doom scrolling, nature's been screaming in frequencies only the wild can hear. Stay curious, and hey, If you ever meet Raja, tell him he's my spirit animal. Smash subscribe. The wild isn't just out there, it's trying to save us.